This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Proof I'm alright song. Hello, hello, hello. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Mommy Emils is on air again. So today we are going to talk about the Malaysian economic structure. So by taking a look at this table, if you have your module, you can turn to page 22. So here, this is the economic structure from 1965 until 2018. Sorry, you can fill up all the 2018 there. Actually, you can fill up until the 2019. Okay, this is from this table, you can see that the agriculture dominates the other sectors. See, for example, from the 1965, it accumulated about 30%, more than 30% of nation GDP or gross domestic product or our nation income. Then let's see, throughout the years, what happened? It kept shrinking. See, from the more than 30% in 1965, the agricultural sector kept shrinking to merely less than 5%, which is 3.5%. So now it'll keep lesser and lesser. So then we move to the mining is also included in the agriculture sector. So mining, for example, it keep increasing. Then what happened to the manufacturing sector? From nearly 10% in 1965 to nearly 20% in 2016. And actually, from the 1990s until now, more or less it will be the same in the 20s. Meaning that is contribute around 20 to 30% of our nation GDP, of our nation income. Then what happened to the services sector? See, from the 1965, from nearly 45%, it jumped up from the 2016 to nearly 60% of our nation GDP. So it's a huge jump here. So you see, the services sector keep getting more and more important. So there's a transformation from the agriculture sector into the services sector here. Recall back from my previous lecture that economic growth is defined as the increase in the amount of final goods and services produced by an economy over time, meaning that from one period until another. So it is measured by the percentage change of increase in a GDP or gross domestic product. Then we move on. What are the factors that contribute to the economic growth, to our economic growth, to Malaysian economic growth? Actually, I have listed 9 factors here. The first one is regarding the abundant natural resources. So we have a vast of natural resources that are available in our country, such as petroleum, natural gas, tin, coal, copper, and also we have that is non-renewable resources, and also we also have renewable natural resources such as rubber, palm oil, timber, and pepper. Then the secondly is due to the newly industrialized and also diverse market economy. So we are moving into the high technology output. And also more and more entrepreneurs are in a small and medium-sized entity or small and medium enterprises. So you must also heard of the Industrial Revolution 4.0. So the new technologies and also Industrial Revolution also brings about the economic growth. And then the third factor is about the young, educated, and skillful labor force. How we are going to do this is in terms of the human capital. So meaning we have to increase the literacy rate. They have the better education for our young generation. We have skill levels in various fields, especially in the ICT. Then we also have the infrastructure and also efficient economic organization. So where we have better public transportation, also communication systems, we have the internet advancement that will increase output capacity, and we also have strong financial institution system, and also we have innovative Islamic financial products. So meaning when we have the strong financial institution, meaning that the GDP will increase. It will lead to the economic growth. Then we have the investment level. So when we have positive flow of FDI, will increase the export. Then in terms of labor mobility, where workers move from unproductive sector, which is agricultural sector, to the more productive sectors such as manufacturing and also services sectors, mainly services sector now. Next factors is the savings level. The higher the saving, the higher the investment. So the higher the investment will stimulate the economic growth. The higher the investment, the higher the economic growth. Then in terms of the corruption level, the higher the corruption, it will lower the public spending and also the tax rate. It will lead to the lower GDP or lower economic growth. When we have the lower corruption rate, meaning that we can prosper and we are using the public spending, we can increase the public spending for the infrastructure and also for the other expenses. It will increase our income. Then lastly is due to the political and social stability. When we have stable politics, when we have stable social environment, then we are safe, meaning that we are going to have higher economic growth. So these are all the 9 factors that contribute to the economic growth according to conventional perspective. Let us move on to the economic development according to conventional perspective. And then when we look at the economic development, it is a much broader and also much comprehensive concept, where it is refers to the sustained concerted action of policymakers of a country and societies that promote standard of living and economic health of a specified area. So meaning that the economic development here comprise of quantitative, which is the economic growth, and also the qualitative element, which is the positive changes. So under the positive changes, we can divide it into two components. The first one is the socio-economic changes, because it involves 10 areas that will promote standard of living. Meanwhile, the technical changes will refer to the another element of the technological changes. While the economic growth is the quantitative dimension of the economic performance, we can say that economic growth is a must in order for the economic development to take part. So the positive changes that are involved in the economic development, one is under the socio-economic changes. We have 10 areas that will promote the standard of living. The first one is the development of the human capital. Secondly is the critical infrastructure development. The third one is the regional competitiveness. The fourth one is under the environmental stability. The fifth is in order to develop the economy, we must reduce the poverty. Then we must have the equitable income distribution, meaning that we have the distribution of income more or less equal. Then the enhanced healthcare will definitely help the progress of the economic development. Then the improved safety of the nation, of the people or the population in the nation is also the positive changes in economic development. Then they must have the development of literacy, including the equal opportunity of the resident to obtain education. And lastly is the social amenities in terms of housing, water supply, and electricity. All these positive changes will lead to the increase in the standard of living or improve the quality of life, meaning that we can change the social and economic condition by improving the employment opportunity, education, rise in productivity, and also acquisition of knowledge. Meanwhile, while we have enhanced the healthcare, it will improve the healthcare services and also increase the life expectancy. So now the indicators, these are the indicators of the economic development. When we have the reduce in the incidence of poverty, we have improved in the distribution of income, and also balanced development between Peninsular Malaysia and also Sabah and Sarawak, as well as the sustainable development for Malaysia. When we say sustainable development, it refers to the environmental conservation or environmental sustainability, and also protection of resources for future generation in order to ensure their long-term quality and abundance of resources in the future.